This has been a highly requested topic for a video ever since I began the show. Lumber, a now mythic occupation in Michigan. I'll be carving out a little history on lumber and the life of the lumberjack in this Michigan moment. Our state at one point was covered with a rich abundance of pine, especially in the northern parts of the Lower Peninsula, which made it ideal investment for lumber barons from the East Coast who had exhausted their own natural resources. They came to the newly formed Michigan and found the state was perfectly suited with rivers crisscrossing and converging to make transportation to refineries a breeze. Lumber was crucial to the development of our state's economics, building infrastructure for shipping, transportation, and bringing jobs to Michigan in its early statehood. With all this action happening in Michigan, the lumberjacks followed. Shanty boys, lumberjacks, or lumbermen, whichever you prefer, were the hard, rough workers who did the labor of felling trees and sometimes even doing some extra work gathering saps. They gained the name shantymen for the temporary living quarters they stayed in during their logging season. Logging season ran from the end of October to the first thaw in spring. Winter made logging ideal because the massive logs were easier to transport by sled over ice than by cart over the rough forest terrain. The most famous lumberjack was the mythic Paul Bunyan, who was believed to be based off of one or more real lumbermen. Fabian Fournier, known in his day as Saginaw Joe, stood 6 feet tall with massive hands and notably a full set of teeth. He had a larger-than-life quality to him, and after his death in the notorious lumber town of Bay City, Michigan, tales began to grow and merge with that of another French-Canadian, Bunyan. Jean had organized a lumberjack rebellion known as the Papineau Rebellion of 1837. The crew was protesting against the newly crowned Queen Victoria in Canada. It is said that Jean's full surname included the name Bunyan. The lives of these two men and their deeds grew into the legends we know as Paul Bunyan today. 90% of Michigan's landscape used to be covered in forest. The bygone days of logging left Michigan a desolate landscape for a time. Most hardwood trees in the lower parts of Michigan were simply burned to save on labor and to make way for farmland. Today, 53% of the state remains forested, after an increase of over 1 million acres since 1980. Michigan has had a rich history in natural resources, with more videos planned in the future. Tell me what your favorite Michigan forest is in the comments, and as always, if you're curious about Michigan, let me know, and we'll cover your topic in an upcoming episode. We'll see you back here for the next Michigan Moment.